Alrighty then. Hello, everybody. And of course, just gonna wait, give people a chance to get in here before we get started. Buddy. And of course, just gonna wait, give. I thought I did, but apparently I didn't. Okay. My two hands. Well, we have somebody here. Hello. We have a second person here. How you doing tonight? Hopefully, you're doing well tonight. Um, hopefully you're having a good week thus far. Three people. Okay. Well, we got three people in here now, so it might be a good idea to just go ahead and get going then here. So here's what's on. Oh, now we just lost. Okay. But anyways, so basically, what's on tapped? Well, I guess I'll wait a few more minutes then. Maybe up to the. Oh, we got four people here now. All right. I will go ahead and get going here. All right, so we're gonna go through 9 articles tonight, all from CBR. We got 4 comics related articles and 5 anime related articles. We'll have a WWE roundup a bit. Um, among the articles include a new Batman series getting is set to release date. Especially Internet JLI artist Kevin Maguire is ready for an adult-only version of the team. Marvel's latest variant series turns cover art into postcards for a number of Marvel locations, and then DC's Round Robin Round 2 creative teams and expanded descriptions revealed. So that's on the comic side of it. And on the anime side of it, we got we basically do have some profile stuff, more or less, among other things. You just go ahead and let's see. We're going to talk a little bit about Kokoro Connect, a profile piece there. Let's see what else. Why anime is so popular after years of being ignored. Let's see what else. Um, Batgirl artist Witch Hat Atelier manga announces an original Western manga is being given an anime adaptation. Let's see. The exact premiere time revealed for the season 2 of the Rising of the Shield Hero, and then Funimation's YouTube channel to relaunch with free anime episodes. So that's basically all that. I don't know if that's also involved with Crunchyroll dubs or have you, but anyway, so those are the stories that we're going to cover tonight. Plus, as I said, the WWE roundup. So we're up to 4 people now. Goody. Nice to see. And if you haven't already, if you can give the stream a like and a share, see if we can get some more friendly people in here, that'd be appreciated. Anyways, why don't we go ahead and get going with the news stories? Start off with comic related stuff, of course. So let me pull that up. All right, there we go with that. Right, Batman series with Black Panther star as Bruce Wayne sets release date. Batman Unburied, the Spotify exclusive narrative podcast starring Black Panther's Winston Duke as Bruce Wayne, finally has a release date. Article by Brad Lang, published 12 hours ago. It was basically published 6 a.m. this morning, or at least my time. Batman Unburied, the Spotify exclusive narrative podcast, finally sets a release date. As reported by THR, The Hollywood Reporter, the Cape Crusaders' upcoming audio adventure is set to hit Spotify on May 5th and will delve into some of the darker aspects of Batman's mythology. Now, if anything strikes a chord with you, feel free to comment, of course. Feel free to converse if anything in here strikes a chord with you. Um, so feel free to do so. Anyways, continuing on with the article here. Um, let's see, where was I? Okay. While the episode count of the series is currently unknown, the podcast features an all-star cast of voices, including Black Panther's Winston Duke, who plays Bruce Wayne Batman. The audio drama will also feature the vocal talents of Gina Rodriguez, Jason Isaacs, Hassan Minhaj, Lance Reddick, Ashley Birch, and John Rice Davies. And John Rice Davies, I know, has done a number of work. I think he was in the Friday the 13th television series. Um, he was in Bloodsport 3, I believe. Um, those are a couple of things I can kind of remember him from. But anyways, um, oh, and he was also Macbeth in the Gargoyles Disney Gargoyles cartoon. Remember him from that. Batman Unburied is the first production to come from a multi-year first look licensing deal between Warner Brothers and Spotify. The story begins with Bruce Wayne working as a forensic pathologist in Gotham Hospital as he's tasked with examining the victims of a terrifying serial killer known as the Harvester. Quote, not only will the superhero be forced to face his own mental demons, but he will also have to overcome them in order to save the citizens of Gotham as his alter ego Batman, unquote, reads the description for the series. Let's see. The upcoming superhero audio drama also sports a script by veteran Batman writer David S. Goyer, who penned the screenplays for Batman Begins and Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Quote, I've been a fan of narrative podcasts for some time and was looking for the right story. Returning to Batman seems like the perfect opportunity, unquote, said Goyer. Quote, we'll be using the unique advantages of audio to dig into the more nightmarish members of the Dark Knight Rogues Gallery. Rogues Gallery. Speaking to his role as a titular hero, Duke expressed his excitement around Batman Unburied, noting that he thinks the final product will be something very special for fans of the character. So it sounds like they are going quite a bit dark here with this. So you know, yeah. Let's see. Quote, I am so excited, so honored to be joining the DC family with Batman Unburied, in brackets, and with Spotify. We have been cooking up something very, very special for you. We've been creating something that's nuanced and beautiful with great characters, great voices, and just a beautiful experience. So, in that vein, I am Batman, unquote. All right. Now, mind you, for those of you who've caught my Friday broadcast of the Mikestand um, as we've been going through older comics. Um, Excuse me a moment. I got to take care of my dog. Sorry about that, folks. Let me see first. Find something. All right. I got to go take care of Chloe, so I'll be right back. Feel free to converse among yourselves. And as always, guys, feel free to comment on what we're talking about here as well. Anyways, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Nobody's commented yet. Um, and I thank everybody for the likes and shares. Anyways, let's finish off this article and get ready to move on to the next one here. While Batman Unburied may be the first Spotify Warner Brothers narrative podcast, more are reportedly on the way. Publisher recently confirmed um, that it was looking at developing podcasts dedicated to characters like Catwoman, Batgirl, Joker, and Wonder Woman. Batman Unburied releases on May the 5th, which I believe will be a Thursday, believe it or not. First Thursday of the month. So, anyways, there we go with that one. Uh, see if you guys have, and again, as I said, if you have anything you'd like to say on it, feel free to go ahead. I'll give you a few moments here to decide if you want to comment on that article before we move on to the next one here. Let's see now. Yeah. Does sound kind of like an interesting motif there for that podcast, so that they're gonna go and maybe show some of the more darker aspects. But as I was saying earlier, if you guys have been hanging around, if you guys have caught any of our Friday broadcasts where we go back and look at the some of the golden age comics, we're gonna actually be pretty soon getting into getting into Batman. It'll be a couple months here before we start going over and seeing and seeing before we start going over and seeing some of the early stories from Batman. Batman's first appearance is in Detective Comics 27, which probably getting to in a couple months here. So be look forward to that down the line. And from what I understand, some of those early stories were pretty dark too. You know, as we're not talking about the stuff that you saw, like if you saw like the Batman live action series or any of the Hanna-Barbera Super Friends cartoons or anything like that, or even the Filmation stuff. We're talking about like some of the Golden Age stuff, which had some more darker influences there when we get to that. So that's something to look forward to. Anyways, getting back. All right. Since nobody seems to have any comment on that last article, we'll move on to the next one here. All right. So, Justice League International artist Kevin Maguire is ready for an adult only version of the team. Kevin Maguire said that he would return for a Justice League International one shot under DC's Black Label if offered by the publishing company. Article by Brandon Schwer, published 10 hours ago. So let's get into this then. And let's see, you got Big Barda, Mr. Miracle, Batman, Captain Marvel, Shazam right there, Booster Gold, Captain Atom, like Supergirl, even though you can't see her face, Creeper, Deadshot. Look at all these. See, Zatanna, Metamorpho, Fire, Ice, Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, Blue Beetle. Oh, there's Booster Gold, and who? Oh, that's Animal Man. That's actually Animal Man that I thought was Booster Gold before. Doctor Light. Um, guess that could be Wendy and Marvin, right? Um, but anyways, Kevin Maguire said that while he's more interested in moving forward than backward when it comes to creating comic artwork, he would return to do a Justice League International one shot for DC's Black Label if offered by the publishing company. Female Force, Princess Diana writer Chris Arendt posed a question on Twitter asking comic creators which of their previous projects they'd like to revisit someday and do more. Quote, there are a few things I'd like to revisit, but at this point, I'm more interested in moving forward, unquote. Maguire answered on his own Twitter account. Quote, although if DC wanted Keith, Mark, and I to do a JLA Black Label one shot, I'd be all over that, unquote. Now, from what I understand, I guess the Black Label imprint is more of a like mature audiences, adults only type label. I'm guessing, or imprint. Justice League International came shortly after DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths and Legends crossover events in the late 1980s. Created by Maguire and writers Keith Giffen and J.M. Um, DeMatteis, um, the series was initially labeled Justice League before it rebranded itself as Justice League International by its seventh issue. Following the 25th issue, the series again switched names to Justice League of America. The series introduced a new roster to the Justice League, as many of the core characters were unavailable when it relaunched in 1987. The roster initially included Batman, Black Canary, Blue Beetle, Captain Marvel. That's Billy Batson Captain Marvel, not to be confused with Marvel Comics Captain Marvel. This Captain Marvel originally debuted in February 1940 in Wiz Comics #1 for Fawcett Comics. So, um, Doctor Fate, Doctor Light, Guy Gardner, Green Lantern Guy Gardner, um, Martian Manhunter, and Mr. Miracle, taking a more comedic tone than some of the predecessor Justice League runs. Justice League International sees the team come together to stop terrorists at the UN, the Royal Flush Gang, and a host of other threats. Yeah, from what I understand, JLI was kind of, as I said, more of a lighthearted version of the Justice League. It wasn't quite as serious. Um, yeah, um, as Justice League International continued into the 1990s, the series saw a number of related spin off titles, including Justice League Europe, Justice League Task Force, and Extreme Justice. Giffen, DeMatteis, and Maguire later revisited, and I believe DeMatteis was actually given some like writer's credit on like much of the some of the DCAU work that used some of the characters on here, particularly when you did get to Justice League Unlimited. So I think I did see his name on some of their credits there. Later revisited the characters they helped shape in formerly known as the Justice League and JLA classifieds. I can't believe it's not the Justice League. Kind of like the old advertise, butter advertising. I can't believe it's not butter. Uh, when they were talking about margarine. The superhero team was seen again in 2010's Justice League Generation Lost bi-weekly limited series, which set up a 12-issue Justice League International run in 2012 as part of DC's new 52 relaunch by Dan Jurgens and Aaron Lopresti. And I believe Aaron is one of the guys who hangs out with Ethan on his streams. I think he's one of the quote unquote Comicsgate kings, um, as I understand it. Members of Justice League International are now caught up in The Human Target, a new series that falls under DC's Black Label. In the series, Christopher Chance is acting as a bodyguard for Lex Luthor when he discovers he's been poisoned. With only 12 days, yeah, I think we read a little bit about this too recently. Well, with only, yeah, okay, I know that because basically we read an article about where I think it was Tom King was writing Guy Gardner as an incredibly jealous boyfriend, trying to make him look like real bad. 12 days of the Chance begins investigating characters throughout the DC universe to find his killer, with the Justice League International acting as some of his primary suspects. And that sure as we learn, part of the reason that they were making Guy look bad because, Ice was becoming romantically involved with Christopher Chance. So, anyways, there we go with that one. Always feel free to comment if you guys have anything you'd like to give you guys a few moments here to give you guys a chance to see if you want to say anything about what I just read before moving on. Moving on to the next article here. Actually, I've got to step away from the computer a bit here, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back now. So let's see. And it would appear you guys don't have anything to say about this, the last article we just did. And thank you for the another like there. We appreciate that. Hope y'all enjoying the content here. Um, and- all right. So, anyways, let's get ready to move on to the next article here. All right. Marvel's latest variant series turns cover art into postcards for Wakanda, Latveria, and more. Like Wakanda, we know is the home of Black Panther. Latveria is the country that Doctor Doom is from. So let's see, let's get into this. So Marvel releases a new Stormbreaker variant cover series, allowing Wakanda, Latveria, Madripoor, and the Savage Land, home of the mutates, in postcard style format. Article by Brandon Schwer, published 8 hours ago. There we go there. Marvel's new variant cover series turns cover art of infamous locales like Wakanda, Latveria, and more into postcards created by a handful of legendary Stormbreaker artists. Marvel released a new Stormbreaker variant cover series featuring a number of fan favorite locales created by R.B. Silva, Peach Momoko. Now that name is very interesting to me because Peach Momoko. That's essentially they're saying Peach Peach because, as I understand it, Momoko is the Japanese word for peach. So he's basically whoever is calling themselves Peach Momoko is basically calling themselves Peach Peach. That's kind of interesting. Carmen Carnero and Natasha Bustos. Um, the covers show off locales such as Wakanda, the Savage Land, Madripoor, and Latveria in breathtaking postcard format. All right, let's see now. Thing two there. No, everything's still more or less the same. No one is going to be coming. The series comes from Marvel's Stormbreakers program, which highlights some of the industry's most gifted and visionary artists. Stormbreakers, which kicked off in 2020 and in an evolution of Marvel's Young Guns program. Additional artists involved in the program include Patrick Gleason, Iban Coelho, Joshua Casada, and Juan Cabal. Quote, congratulations to the 2020 to 2022 class of Marvel Stormbreakers artists. Well, thank you for the subscription there, 109. All right. As we, unquote. Editor in chief C.B. Cebulski said, quote, the work of all these titanic talents has been and will continue to be absolutely outstanding. Um, I cannot tell you how excited I am to see what comes next for these 8 incredible illustrators. And while this celebrated class may be drawing to a close, our Stormbreakers program isn't going to end here. The new class, a new class of industry shaking talent, is just around the corner, and I just can't wait for you to see who's next. Quote, there's a special skill set you need to have in order to draw comics at the highest level. Unquote. Executive Vice President, Creative Director Joe Quesada previously said of the Stormbreakers class, quote, like the finest illustrators, you must be able to draw anything and everything at any given moment. Um, have the keen storytelling eye of a master film director, the ability to convey emotion in characters like the world's um, greatest performers, and the imagination of the greatest storytellers in history. But to be a Marvel comic artist, you need all of that as well as the ability to make your characters and stories jump off the page. They need to be larger than life, yet grounded enough that we all see ourselves within them. We're thrilled to bring together Marvel Stormbreakers, a team of super up and coming talents who will continue that legacy. Unquote. Let's see now. Wakanda is a technologically advanced country in East Africa that is most notably home to Black Panther. Madripoor, which recently appeared in Disney Plus's live action The Falcon and Winter Soldier series, is an island in Southeast Asia that's strongly divided between the wealthy and the underprivileged. The Savage Land is an island in the southern hemisphere featured in many X-Men storylines, inhabited by dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures, as well as the mutate and caves and Shauna the Jungle, um, Shauna the She Devil. Um, Latveria is a country in Europe that's ruled by Fantastic Four villain Victor Von Doom, the capital city being named Doomstadt. Check out the Stormbreaker variant cover series, accompanying release dates below. Greetings from the Savage Land. Its X-Force title. Visit majestic Madripoor. And X-Men. On sale 5/4. X-Force number 28, Stormbreakers variant cover by Peach Momoko. Um, X-Men number 11, Stormbreakers variant cover by Carmen Carnero. with colors by Romulo Fajardo Jr. Is Discover Latveria, Captain America, Symbol of Truth. Until May 11th, Captain America, Symbol of Truth, #1 Stormbreakers variant cover by Natasha Bustos. Black Panther, Wakanda. On sale June the 8th. Panther #7, Stormbreakers variant cover by R.B. Silva. Colors by David Curiel. The issues and variant covers will release digitally at comic book stores on their respective dates from Marvel Comics. All right. Oh, there we go. Let's see if you guys have anything you're saying yet. Nope. That's not. I hope everyone's enjoying. I hope everyone. Anyways, all right. So getting ready to move on. Let's see. Right. With that, we'll go on to the next article. Then, the last of the comic articles. All right. Exclusive DC's round robin round 2 creative teams and expanded description. There. So this is some kind of tournament they're doing among their creators to see which creator can come up with another title for them to publish. Um, they did this, I believe, last year or a couple years ago. So anyway, so DC Comics reveals the creative teams and expanded descriptions for the 8 remaining series still left in the 2022 round robin tournament. Article by Brandon Schwer, published 7 hours ago. Round robin DC. DC has announced the winners of the first round of the round robin tournament, as well as the creative teams and expanded descriptions behind the 8 remaining series. TBR can exclusively reveal the creative teams behind the 8 remaining series in DC's 2022 round robin tournament. The list includes Hawkman and Hawkwoman, The Changeling by writer Kevin Scott and artist Fico Ocio, Constantine and the Demon, Vacation from Hell by writer Frank Allen and artist Nick Varela, Suicide Squad Dark by writer Zach Thompson and artist Gary Brown, Kid Flash, The Speed of Fear by writer Brandon Easton and artist Travis Mercer, Green Lantern, The Birth of Conspiracy by writer Scott Bryan Wilson and artist Skylar Partridge, DC Horror, Ghost Tour from Hell by writer T. Franklin and artist Dominique Domo Stanton, Superboy, The Man of Tomorrow by writer Kenny Porter and artist Janoy Lindsay, and Green Lantern, A Light at the End of Forever by writer Cy Spurrier and artist Marco Santucci. I guess this is the bracket here. There we go. All right, so continue on with the article here. The round robin tournament allows fans to vote for their favorite story ideas. Starting with 16 potential candidates, voters narrow down the list until a winner is determined. The winner will be published as a digital series on DC Universe Infinite before going to print and on comicsology in October. Voting for the second round will go live at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern, and last until April 10th. All votes can be made through DC's Twitter and Instagram accounts, as well as DC Universe Infinite. The final voting ends on May 17th. Here. So let's see. Now we're going to get into the. All right. Hawkman and Hawkwoman, The Changeling by Kevin Scott and artist Fico Ocio. Logline: Hawkman and Hawkwoman have never had children together. They know that for a fact. Then who is Hector Hall, the hot-headed, razor-winged teen who claims to be their son? Can they trust their own memories or each other? So this could be a multiverse issue because in one universe, Hector Hall was their son, or was Hawkman a Hawkgirl's son. Let's see. Themes: finding your identity as a family, both together and apart. Tone: we'll start with bombastic cosmic battles as the Hawks go about the perfect life they built for themselves. Then, when Hector arrives, we'll play up the uneasiness of the situation, perhaps giving us an at times, creepy M. Night Shyamalan servant vibe, which makes Hawkman himself increasingly paranoid. Imagine the scene when Hawkman, brooding on the shore ship, suddenly realizes that Hector is staring at him, not moving, not even blinking. Whoa, that can be kind of creepy, I guess. And yet, all the time, Hector is acting like an enthusiastic teen when he's with Hawkwoman, who is accepting as Hawkman is distrustful. There will be moments when Hawkman lets his guard down and the family starts to come together, only to have events turn against them. Basically, think Super Sons meets The Orphan. Yes, it's an odd mix, but it will work, especially with Fico's art. Um, the trick will be to make the readers love Hector, and also fear for him. Does he even know who or what he is? There will be heart here. There will be heart here that will stop things tipping over into horror. Helped immeasurably by Fico's style, will be playing with darkness and light ultimately winning out with a conclusion that will be full of hope and fulfillment, as a bond is formed between the Hawks and their son, the cuckoo in the nest, finally accepted as part of the family, the three of them stronger than ever before. Versus Constantine and the Demon. Vacation from Hell by Frank Allen and artist Nick Varela. Pitch: John Constantine's deceptive nature catches up with him when he is caught cheating by a mysterious individual at a mystic's poker game. After being interrupted by a talking corpse with a cryptic message demanding Constantine return home, John is punished for his sins. Soon, a magically nerfed Constantine is on a plane traveling to his home city of Liverpool with Etrigan the Demon in his body. uninvited. On arrival, John and Etrigan meet up with the voice of the corpse. The pair are then tasked with locating and safeguarding a child who has come into the possession of an evil parasitic artifact of immense power. The clock is ticking as the two unlikely and unwilling allies race to save an innocent before the ancient corruption consumes her soul. With an unstable tether to a prince of the pit and his powers severely reduced, Constantine must beg, borrow, and steal anything of magical use he can in order to face an army of nightmares. From old wounds springs a fresh hell. It's going to be unconventional. Suicide Squad Dark by writer Zach Thompson and artist Gary Brown. See if anybody's saying anything thus far. Guess not. Apparently, I'm the only one who's still here. Possibility. Anyways, all right, pitch. Meet the occult task force, um, DOF Earth 13. Field leader, Vampire Batman. Commands a top secret um, commands a top secret team of murderers, monsters, and demons. The magic dampening parasites hooked into their brains keep them following orders, and the promise of freedom keeps them motivated. Thanks to the mysterious benefactor known only as Milton, Amanda Waller has built the ultimate squad on another Earth. She's handpicked a deranged team to topple the supernatural world of sorcery and permanent twilight. Yes, she's going to do the unthinkable. She's going to eliminate the League of Shadows. But to what end? Because we'll find out in this title, won't we? Suicide Squad Dark is a spectacular horror story about dark, multiversal conspiracy, endangered species, and the possible end of all things. It's a dark mirror of the Suicide Squad where everything is weird and not quite as it seems. When team handler Frankenstein discovers his teammate Sporme um, be a reputed eco terrorist from Earth 41, he sets in motion a series of events that quickly spin out of control. Worse, Task, Task Force X has few allies to help make sense of the true scope of their peril. Who is Waller taking orders from? What the hell are those worms hanging off their heads? No, really. Who the bleep is Milton? I think we can figure out what that absent word probably is. It starts with the letter F maybe and rhymes with Chuck. Anyways, Vampire, Batman, Frankenstein, Raven, Gorilla Grodd, Spore, um, Zatanna, Plasma Man, and Sinestro are dying to find out. Versus Kid Flash, The Speed of Fear by writer Brandon Easton and artist Travis Mercer. Pitch. Kid Flash, Wallace West, suddenly finds himself torn from the surface of the earth in a cosmic storm caused by a tear in the Speed Force. She investigates. Kid Flash learns that Reverse Flash has merged with the dangerous entity Parallax, an entity composed of fear energy that powers the yellow rings of the Sinestro Corps. Their unholy combination crafts the unprecedented speed ring, which can generate enough interdimensional velocity to shatter the central battery of the Green Lantern Corps on Oa. Somehow, Kid Flash has been caught up in the vortex of the creation of the speed ring, which destabilizes the walls of the multiverse. Oh boy, something of an apocalyptic nightmare there. Now, Kid Flash must pursue the hyperpowered Reverse Flash across a variety of alien worlds devastated by the speed ring, find a way to stop him and dangerous members of the Sinestro Corps who will do whatever it takes to destroy the GL central battery. However, Wallace West's connection to the Speed Force is disrupted, and his ability to use his powers decrease exponentially. As Reverse Flash gains the ultimate velocity to accomplish his dark goal, the clock ticks to zero. Kid Flash learns new ways of using his intelligence and guile to defeat the squadron of Yellow Lanterns and stop Reverse Flash and Parallax before they eliminate the forces of justice and peace. See if anybody's back yet or if we have any more comments. Again, feel free to if anything here strikes your fancy, you want to say anything about it, feel free to comment on it. And I do thank everybody for likes and shares. If you haven't already, if you can do that as well, that'd be appreciated. So we can get some more friendly people in here. Anyways, going on with the article here. Actually, let me go back and see where we're at on time there. We're actually at the 53-minute mark. So we're coming up on an hour here. Okay, that's good. Green Lantern, The Light at the End of Forever by writer Cy Spurrier and artist Marco Santucci. Pitch: a million years from now, a galaxy convulsed by violence, where godlike emperors wield unthinkable power and wage pitiless interstellar war. Here, the ancient echoes of our heroic age, our DCU, lie fossilized, rendered as myth, or forgotten entirely. But not by the madman. An elderly farmer in a backwater system, brutalized by the latest thugs with jetpacks and jackboots to call themselves lawmen. He remembers as his broken skull is patched up. He suddenly remembers it all. An era champions a time of truth and justice, a cadre of peacekeepers dedicated to prosperity, fairness, and light, the Green Lantern Corps. He remembers because he was one. His name, he's sure of it, is John Stewart. Is he right? How could he have forgotten who or what he was in another age, in another life? How is that nobody else has ever heard of Green Lanterns? Isn't it more likely that he is, as his friends assume, is nothing but a broken brained old derelict fantasizing about bygone wonders from childish myths as senility sets in? Whichever it is, there are plenty of scum who care more for his money than his memories. And so he assembles a small band of guns for hire, historians, and uh, bastiches um, to go out there, to dig, to uncover surprising secrets and twisted traces of the DCU we know and love, to try and unpick the greatest riddle of all. Who killed the hope of an entire galaxy? Who murdered truth, justice, peace? Some people would say that the woke people at DC killed truth, justice, and peace. Uh, anyways, I got to step away from the computer for a moment to hey, Batgoat. Thanks for dropping in. If you haven't already, if you can like and share the stream, that would be a big help. See if we can get some more friendly people. Anyways, I got to step away from the computer for a moment because things are getting a little dim in here. So I'll be right back. Um, I just have to go ahead and take my towel down from my window, so the lighting's a little better in here. Anyways, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I had to take care of something there real quick. But anyways, getting back to the article here. We're, we're coming up on an hour here. Who killed the light and can it be relit? This is a Green Lantern story, unlike any other melding secret remembrances of the DCU, the dystopian future where the Lantern Corps are a forgotten myth. A multitude of twists will hit our elderly hero as he bumbles cantankerously through the echoes of a corrupted history, causing ripples that will have major consequences for the present day DCU. The quickly learning the horrible fate of his former comrades. They never went away, they simply took over, corrupted by ultimate power, twisted by the demons of ambition and authority, warring star gods clad in green. Hmm. Ultimately, the madman's greatest gift is not miraculous power, nor the strength of a hero, but his belief in the simple goodness of the people around him. Over time, his idealism rubs off on even the most grimdark, laser knuckled space bastard in his retinue. Until we start to wonder, can a single frail mind reignite the flame of hope? Actually, as I understand it, in the comics, the flame of hope is actually what the Blue Lanterns represent. Blue Lanterns, I believe, represent hope in DCU. Um, the green flame represents will. Yeah, kind of reminded of the Justice League two-part episode Legends here because in that one, John Stewart, kind of had to harken back to his the comics he read as a kid. So, what happens when he realizes the plane never was what it seemed? Versus DC Horror presents Ghost Force Hell by writer T. Franklin and artist Dominique Domo Stanton. After needing a change of scenery, Madame Xanadu relocates to New Orleans, Louisiana from New York and opens up a new shop. The grand opening of Madame Xanadu's occult curiosities went a bit better than expected. Running a magic shop in New York is vastly different from running one in New Orleans, especially when you only take select walk-ins. Okay. While ushering the last customer out of the shop, Madame Xanadu senses something is coming or perhaps is already here. A stranger walks into the shop and begs Madame Xanadu for help. A distraught mother believes that something evil has happened to her child. She explains that her son and his college friends went on a ghost tour and have been missing for days. Pulling out her tarot deck, Madame Xanadu flips over cards that give her pause. When the mom reaches out to touch Madame Xanadu's hand, the oracle hears words that she can't quite make out, which send a shiver down her spine like no other. She sends the mom home with the promise of trying to find out what's happened. Praying while shuffling the tarot cards, images flash into Madame Xanadu's head, causing her to scream and ultimately pass out. While she's passed out, Ramakrishna appears with a warning and offers Deadman to her to aid her on his quest. On this quest, in another part of the city, a ghost tour is happening. College kids, adults, elders, and all are all in attendance, including one Jason Blood. Um, Something's drawn him to New Orleans. No matter how much he ignored this call, it continued to get louder. At the end of the tour, a man steps out of the shadows, inviting a select few to a quote unquote seance. Jason and Etrigan recognize the man immediately. It's Deacon Blackfire. Wow. Now, here's one of the things I kind of not quite getting. So, Etrigan the Demon. So, apparently, at the same time, Etrigan is in John Constantine's body and still in Jason Blood's body. Kind of interesting there that you have these two stories going at the same time with Etrigan seemingly in two places at once. Two totally different places at once. Anyways, I just realized I forgot to do something um when I when I took down the towel. So I'm gonna go off camera here for a quick moment. I'll be right back again. Here's some more music to listen to. I see there's a few more comments here, so let me get kind of caught up on what you guys have been saying here the last few minutes. I've given some comments even before I. All right, please say hey back. Yo, let's see. Killer tunes. I'm tripping. Oh, hey Woody. Yeah, man, this flower tastes like peanut butter. Nice. I've had cookies and cake, but never PB. Taste bastard, love it. Uh, they just sold my fixer upper during fixer upper dump a dump of the house so that I can concentrate on fixing up the other fixer upper dump of the house that I live in. That's cool. I wish you success in your dumping endeavors. Actually, the one I live in is pretty nice, but just needs a lot of maintenance um, and a great big deck. Big deck, is the back. Big decks make anything cool. Trip in, far out. Yeah, sometimes this peanut butter turns into jelly. Laugh out loud. Psychedelic, um, harpsichord music. You can't beat it. Um, it's cool. I'm totally gelling. Again, guys, if you remember, I wouldn't play the music before, but it was RJ's suggestion that I do. I guess, rather than having dead air. So, uh, sort of like he can't quite hit third gear. Turn the music back on. Blah, blah, blah. Just joking, Mike. Um, Girls all like a guy with a big deck and emoji. It's a good idea with the music for real. We just playing. Yeah, I figured. I mean, because yeah, I think sometimes I know that I do have a lot of dead air, particularly at the beginning of the show, because I don't necessarily do myself until I get a few people in. So that's why. But tonight I was able to get started right away because I pretty much had a nice little group of like about 4 or 5 people right off the bat. Um, so that helped quite a bit. So anyways, now let's get back to the article here. Let's see. Right. Blackfire has been brought back to life by a powerful new player in town, the goddess Hecate, and she's ordered him to bring souls to her to feast upon. Hecate, also tired of the mundane life, decided to shake things up and visit New Orleans during Mardi Gras before returning to Mount Olympus. Xanadu, Deadman, and the Demon team up to figure out how to stop the disappearances from happening, defeat the immortal Deacon Blackfire and Goddess Hecate, and hopefully reunite many of the lost souls. Um, Appearances from Constantine and Bloodwind throughout the series to even the playing field against the all powerful Hecate. Green Lantern, The Birth of Conspiracy by writer Scott Bryan Wilson and artist Skylar Partridge. Or Patridge. Okay. Pitch. It's 1947, and Alan Scott is part of a new breed of humans endowed with the power of gods. But he still has to work a day job, protect his personal secrets from the public, and hide his civilian identity from the government agency formed to monitor superhero activity. When he finds himself at the sites of 3 UFO incursions, the famous quote unquote men in black and flying saucer sightings, and the Roswell crash, he realizes that he could lose everything. Now, as Green Lantern, imprisoned and alone on an alien planet, used as a conduit to harvest the power of the green flame, he may have to rely on 3 low-level government functionaries whose job it is to spy on him to help him put a stop to an alien genocide and hold the government accountable for hostile actions and trust them to keep his deepest secret. Scott Bryan Wilson, Pennyworth, Batman Gotham Knights, Skylar Patridge, Wonder Woman, make you question everything in this high octane conspiracy theory drenched tale of power and patriotism at a pivotal time in American history. Versus Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow, written by writer Kenny Porter and artist uh, Jonoy Lindsay. Pitch. Connor Kent is back, but this isn't the DC universe he knows. With Jonathan, Kara, and Clark protecting the Earth, Connor feels like an outsider more than ever. Living on the Kent farm, he dreams of one day finally finding his place in the universe and a purpose as Superboy. When Connor intercepts a distress signal from across the galaxy, he heads to the stars to lend a helping hand. But his journey is cut short when he finds himself caught in an intergalactic battle between Dominator, warlords, and a group of renegade space rebels called the Cosmoteers. Eager to help the planets of a faraway galaxy, Connor offers his help to the spacefaring heroes. But the Cosmoteers don't play by the same rules as the House of Hell. They'll do anything to free the bioweapons that the warlords have created, even if it means crossing lines that Superboy never would. Caught between the Cosmoteers' hunt for revenge and his own code, Connor will have to fight harder than ever to find his path in the universe and carve a brighter future for worlds that don't have a Superman. Villains of the universe are about to learn you don't mess with the S. Second round of DC Round Robin 22 kicks off April 6th at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, which is tomorrow, basically. Tomorrow morning, afternoon, depending upon where you're at. So there we go with that one. So we're done with the comics portion of the stories here. All right. So, anyways, the music gets it. All right. Anyway, so we're done with the comic portion of the of the broadcast here, the episode here. So we're gonna get on to some anime news here in a moment. And it's hour 17. Um, I guess it would just be faster to do this. To what I was trying to get to. We're now gonna go through some anime stories we're gonna go through tonight. All right, so here we go. All right, so we're gonna do some anime articles now. We're gonna go through some anime articles. Um, some of these are more. Some of these have release dates. Others are more profile pieces. So here we go. Let's get going here. This older anime series delivers one of anime's best body swapping stories. Kokoro Connect is a slice of life drama with a twist. The characters swap bodies. Okay, is this possibly one of the tropes best uses in anime? Um, article by Gregory Siegel, um, published 13 hours ago. So here we go. Let's see what a warning. The following article contains discussion of sexual assault and domestic. Okay. All right. Well, anyways, the body swap has long been a classical plot device in anime and across all fictional media. I'm sure we all see. Was it the Parent Trap, the movie where they did that, or no? Freaky Friday. That's what it was. Freaky Friday, as I recall. From Cage and Travolta's laugh out loud performance in Face Off to Makoto Shinkai's now iconic Your Name, this trope has taken a variety of forms, has become a staple when it comes to creating comedic and off the wall situations. While 2012's Kokoro Connect did not invent the body swapping story, it was one of the first to use it within the anime medium. It arguably offers a fresher take than many of its most recent counterparts. Although the series includes humorous moments, it manages to take a more serious and introspective look at what this strange phenomenon might result in. Kokoro Connect follows the lives of five high school students: Taichi, Lori, Himeko, Yoshifumi, and Yui, who are the only members of the Student Cultural Research Club, a society they built after each of them were unable to fit into any of the pre established groups within their school. Hmm. Actually, what's kind of funny, this sounds a little similar to another anime I know of. I think it's called Genshinken. Genshinken sounds similar to that one. Um, Actually, that one was though more about an anime manga club though. Shortly after the characters are introduced, they begin to face a supernatural, sense altering phenomena that causes them to sporadically enter each other's bodies throughout the course of each day. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Can you just imagine that? You're in the bathroom. Let's say as a guy, you're in the bathroom and you're taking a leak in the urinal, right? And all of a sudden, your essence or your soul or whatever is not there anymore. Instead, now you're switched off with one of your female classmates. That would be that would be very very interesting to say the least. Uh, oh boy. Trigger warning. Trigger warnings are here. We are living in the future. Steve Martin and Lily Tomlin did the movie All of Me, which was a really, really good body swap story. Huh, okay. Good to know. Good to know there, Woody. Chances are all the days and nights. Oh, Lorenzo's here. Hey, Lorenzo. Hope you're having a good day thus far. And if you can like and share the stream, if you haven't already, that'd be a real big help. Um, we're actually just getting into the anime articles here. Went through the comics ones already. Anyways, through the first few episodes, the quintet cannot understand why this abnormal experience is happening to them, and there appears to be no logical explanation. However, they are soon introduced to a cryptic entity that refers to itself as "quote unquote" Heartseed, seemingly intent on using this ordeal to test the kids for an unknown goal. Yeah, so you're getting switched around between you and four other people. Some of them other guys, some of them other girls, and you have no idea why it's happening. And you got this one enigmatic individual who is doing this to you, and you don't know who he is or who they are, you know why they're doing this. It's probably a frustrating situation to say the least. Although many stories simply use the body swap trope as a method for creating cheap gags or to offer viewers an oversimplified message about life, Kokoro Connect has implemented this plot device to deeply explore its characters' inner lives and their psychological scars. At its core, it is a slice of life series that examines what it means to be a person and the components that this comprises, whether it's mind, body, or spirit. Trust is an important recurring element throughout Kokoro Connect, in which the friends must learn to understand each other's differences. While this begins with something as simple as setting the ground rules for the boys when they take control of the girls' bodies, um, it later develops into more detailed character analysis. Yeah, like like if a boy's in a girl's body, don't grope them. Don't grope them when you're inside the body. That might be something they're talking about there. All of Me was a fun movie. Anyways, as we continue on now, as the characters continue to experience what it's like to walk in each other's shoes, they begin to open up and discuss their deepest secrets. Kokoro Connect explores a range of difficult and emotionally impactful topics from um, Yui's androphobia, a fear of men, that has stemmed from an attempted rape experience. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to, forgot to censor that art experience. To Laurie's experience of domestic abuse and broken family relationships. Um, each of these moments is handled delicately and dutifully, never clouded by any inappropriate antics that might diminish the seriousness of the ideas being discussed. However, lighthearted relief is by no means absent from the show, even in these darker moments, whether it's from Taichi kicking himself in his nether regions to demonstrate how Yui can defend uh, herself, or the revelation of his darkest sexual secret to help Himeko with her trust issues. Um, there are quite a few laughs to be had. Yeah, wow. Okay, that's going quite a bit. To get a girl to be more comfortable around guys, you kick yourself in the nether region. Yeah, that would probably garner quite a few laughs, I would say. You know. Anyways, okay. So moving on then, as we continue on with the article, Yasuhiro Misawa's accompanying score is a standout feature of the series and a beautiful addition to the more touching moments that can be found throughout. The blend of intermittent piano and strings adds a distinctive charm and calming air to the otherwise chaotic occurrences many of the show's characters experience. While Kokoro Connect is unlikely to be for everyone, particularly due to its rather slow pace, it is a must watch for anyone who with an interest in body swapping or high school slice of life dramas. The characters remain interesting throughout the story, while the relationships they have and continue to develop are certainly entertaining to watch. The series offers an introspective look at what it means to be a person, the significance of identity, the importance of trust, all of which are refreshing changes from the typical action packed genres that are so often consumed. Oh yeah, slice of life anime are good. with storytelling and with that kind of stuff. There are a lot of them out there. If you really want to just have a chance to break away from your everyday mundane life, I recommend watching a slice of life anime, no matter which one, because most of them are, most, not all of them are exceptionally good. Hi, Lorenzo Sleestack. Yeah. So, anyways, getting ready to move on to the next article here. Let's see where we at. Oh, we're already at the hour and a half mark. Hey, Lorenzo. Right, so here we go. Here's the next article we're gonna do. Why is anime so popular after years of being ignored? Becoming an anime fan has never been easier, but why is it more acceptable now than it was several years ago? In other words, why did it go from just being a niche thing to being mainstream? I guess is what she's asking there. Article by Molly Kishikawa, published 11 hours ago. Anime industry has seen a massive boom in the West in recent years. Titles such as My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer becoming some of the most popular. The rise of social media, streaming services, and more easily accessible content are mostly to thank for this, as they make it easier for fans to gather and consume media, which is true. This is a far cry from how it was in the early days of the internet, when trying to find episodes was difficult and dangerous thanks to shady virus riddled sites and questionable downloading services. Despite this setback, now even before the internet, okay, you I've heard this. I don't know this because I myself didn't get into anime until the 2000s. Okay, probably more when this is what they're talking about here is all going on. But you go back to the late 80s, early 90s, and there's a lot of talk back then about the whole idea of tape trading. In other words, somebody might get, you know, the VHS tapes of a particular anime series. You know, friend A may have Dragon Ball, and friend B, let's say, may have um, Macross, and they said, "Hey, you want to check out Dragon Ball? I got Dragon Ball right here. Sure, I've got Macross right here. You want to check that? Sure, let's trade." So that's how they used to do it even before the internet. So, um, anyways, despite the setback, um, anime was still accessible through TV and stores like FYE for your entertainment. It wasn't like there weren't options. I said, there was, TV. Obviously, we know of a number of animes that were just long before we even animation. Okay? You guys know what I'm talking about. Astro Boy, Gigantor, Kimba the White Lion, Speed Racer, Gotcha Man, which most of us knew as Battle of the Planets, um, Macross, which made up Macross, which made up, the essence of Robotech, Go Lion and Dyruger 15, which they were kind of jammed together to become Voltron. So those are just to name a few. Anyways, let's see now. So why has anime become more accepted now than it used to be? How anime is consumed plays a major part in the increased acceptance. Before the days of Crunchyroll and Netflix, anime fans had to rely on questionable sites or spend a lot of money to obtain merchandise and DVDs of their favorite series. Every once in a while, major retailers like Walmart would have anime DVDs available for reasonable prices. But for the most part, it wasn't nearly as easy to get hold of anime as it is today. There were stores that had a fairly large selection of anime like Suncoast and FYE, so it wasn't completely impossible. And eBay and Amazon had DVDs available through individual retailers. However, especially for younger fans who didn't have any money of their own, this was moot. Fans in the 1980s and early 90s had it even harder than their 2000s counterparts. Anime distribution was in its early era. Not every series got the quality localization that's commonplace today. Even now, some still suffer from poor voice acting or translations. One of the most common ways people were introduced to anime during this time was having an unsuspecting family member find some random video of quote unquote cartoons and buy it for them, not knowing what the content was other than containing colorful characters. Many a child was accidentally given copies of Ninja Scroll or Wicked City because the person gifting them just thought it was some child friendly animated movie. Yeah, people who are not in the know still call anime Japanese cartoons. And for those of us who've actually watched anime, we know better. You know better because, yeah, even though it's animated, doesn't necessarily mean that it's always fit for kids. In fact, most anime, I would say, most anime, there's still some like Pokemon, Pokemon at times is edited as well, but you have stuff like Pokemon, that is maybe, and let's see, Digimon, maybe Bakugan, Battle Rock, some of the stuff you grew up, you may have seen on like for kids, even though in some of that, like Yu-Gi-Oh, was somewhat censored, but um, for the most part, anime is at the very least, PG-13. Okay, aside from maybe a handful that people grew up watching on like Fox Kids and Kids WB, um, the majority of anime out there, at the very least, is PG-13. Okay, particularly the slice of life ones. You're not going to find now. Granted, you're not going to necessarily find a lot of slice. You're not really slice of life anime on Kids WB or Fox Kids because, of course, they're not directed for kids. They're not marketed for kids. They're marketed for probably for the PG-13 and up crowd. You know, you know, um, you know, which is why you had, of course, Toonami. You had Toonami that had, now granted, Toonami would at times censor them too a little bit. You had Toonami, but you also had other cable channels throughout the 2000s that were picking up anime in smaller. They might have an hour or two block hour. Sci-Fi Mondays, for example, had some anime on it. I know um, HBO, Showtime Beyond, a few of the cable channels. In fact, when Spawn came out, well, Spawn wasn't an anime, Spawn was a comic, but that was on HBO. But yeah, so had many of those. So, anyways, let's see, where are we at here? Well, anyways, I'm sick. Meds are kicking in. Peace. All right, Becca. Hope you feel better. Try to catch it. Hope you'll be ready by Friday. Thanks for dropping in. All right, so let's see. All right, let me read off some more of this. Looks like we missed him. You can't take those 5 minute intermissions. Um, Sounds like a plan. Have a good sleep. Hey, everybody. Anyways, getting back to articles here. Eventually, anime started garnering popularity with younger generations, thanks to networks starting to dip their toes into broadcasting it on TV after school. Most notably, Kids WB, Fox Kids, Cartoon Network with the Toonami block. Those are what they're, of course, talking about. Um, let's see. Um, this contributed to the increase in interest, but even then, if someone liked anime, they were still seen as the quote unquote weird kid in many circles. Um, while not always the case, anime was often viewed as something geeky kids liked. Um, Let me see. These views would slowly begin to shift as the internet became more streamlined and social media began to rise, but it wouldn't be until the mid 2010s that anime became more widely accepted as sites such as Netflix and Hulu offered more and more titles for streaming. It also it also therefore became easier to watch an entire season of a show in one sitting. Jumping into a series has now become far easier thanks to streaming. Unless someone had been watching a series since the very beginning, it was hard for new fans to begin a series being broadcast on TV. Now, someone interested in starting an anime can just look it up on whatever streaming service they use and quickly catch up on what happens in a relatively short amount of time. Smartphones have made this even easier since people can watch anime on the go. Moreover, in terms of manga, being able to pay a small fee for access to an entire library helps, as is the case with the Jump Plus app. One could argue that becoming an anime fan has never been easier than it is right now. Yeah, more options to be able to view things. Okay. Anyway, so that's that one. So here's the next article. And we are coming up on the 2 hour mark. So we're at hour 44. So we may go over 2 hours tonight because, we've had quite a bit of content here. That's okay. Batgirl artist Witch Hat Atelier manga announces anime adaptation. Witch Hat Atelier, the original manga from DC and Marvel artist Kamome Shirahama, announces an anime adaptation with a teaser trailer and new art. Article by Michael Cerna, published 9 hours ago. Kodansha announced an anime adaptation of Kamome Shirahama's Eisner Award winning Witch Hat Atelier. The new anime was revealed alongside a motion comic style teaser trailer and a new piece of art from Shirahama herself. The trailer offers a brief introduction into the series' magical world before listing all of the awards that the manga has won in its 6 years of serialization. Um, Details about the new anime are still scarce, as Kodansha isn't ready to announce a cast, premiere date, or even what studio is producing the new adaptation of the acclaimed fantasy manga. Witch Hat Atelia tells the story of Coco, a young girl who dreams of becoming a wizard but is born without any sort of magical aptitude. Coco's life um, changes after she witnesses a wizard casting spells without using his own innate power, but through the use of mysterious runes. Coco realizes she can achieve her dreams through the use of these runes, but her use of this ancient and potentially dangerous form of witchcraft threatens to shake up the foundation of the magical society in which she lives. The series was created by Shirahama in 2016 and continues to be um, serialized to this day. The manga has been a big hit in Japan, where it has sold more than 2.5 million copies, which had Atelier has been lauded for its optimistic tone, memorable characters, and for Shirahama's distinctly detailed art style, um, with some critics drawing favorable comparisons between it and the works of Studio Ghibli and the Harry Potter series. The series has been awarded with numerous honors, including the prestigious Taisho Manga Award in 2018 and both Eisner and Harvey Awards in 2020. An ongoing spin off series entitled Witch Hat Kitchen premiered in 2019. Shirahama is also known to audiences in the West for her work with DC and Marvel Comics, where she has created cover art for series such as Batgirl and the Birds of Prey, Nightwing, and Star Wars Doctor Aphra. She she most recently worked um, with DC in 2019 when she created a variant cover for Wonder Woman 63. The first 8 volumes of Witch Hat Atelia manga are available in English in print and digital forms from Kodansha USA. A ninth volume is scheduled to be released next June. Details about the anime adaptations released outside of Japan have also not been announced at this time. All right, so we got that one. Let's see, I think we got a couple more articles to go through. Yeah, one and two. All right, so two more articles to go through, then the WE roundup, and then and we'll start to finish it off. Anyways, I got to step away from the computer for a quick moment because I got to check something real quick. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that, everybody. Let me check some stuff real quick. Heard some noise outside. So, anyways, moving on to the next article here. Okay, so the Rising of the Shield Hero season 2 exact premiere time revealed. Crunchyroll announced when fans will be able to stream the first episode of The Rising of the Shield Heroes second season. Article by Michael Cerna published 8 hours ago. The Rising of the Shield Heroes' long awaited second season will premiere on Crunchyroll at exactly 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on April 6th. That's 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, folks. Pacific Standard Time, 9 a.m. Eastern, obviously. So, um, 2 p.m. in the UK. As far, anyways, the simulcast of the series was previously confirmed for April 6th, the same day that the show will be broadcast in Japan, but in a testament to just how anticipated the Isekai series' new continuation is, um, Crunchyroll announced the specific time that the show will be available for streaming on its platform. Show will be available in the following territories: North America, Central America, South America, Europe, Africa, Oceania, Middle East, and CIS. Whatever CIS is. Show will return roughly 2 years after the completion of the show's first 25 episode long season. Upon its premiere in 2019, the series received some criticism for the use of a false sexual assault allegation as a plot point, but the show has since become a hit, both fans and many critics alike, with praise being directed towards its memorable cast of characters and its willingness to shake up well worn isekai genre tropes. The first season was such a hit that the show's producers immediately announced that the series was being renewed for a second and third season, which is a rarity among anime productions. The second season was originally scheduled to premiere in fall of 2021, but was delayed to its current release date. The second season will see some notable changes in the series crew. While the first season was helmed by director Takao Abo, who previously worked on the mecha anime Macross Frontier and Eureka 7. The second season will instead be directed by Masato Jinbo, um, who directed both seasons of Restaurant to Another World. Production on the second season will be split between Kinema Citrus, which produced the anime's first season, South Korean animation studio DR Movie. The voice cast from the original season will return to reprise their roles for season 2, where they will be joined by Kana Hanazawa, who previously starred in Dorara and Cells at Work. Hanazawa will voice the mysterious Ost Horai, the latest addition to Naofumi's adventuring party. The new season of the show sees Naofumi, the eponymous shield hero, and his two most trusted traveling companions, Raftalia and Philo, setting out on a journey to stop the rampage of a massive legendary beast, the Spirit Tortoise. The Shield Hero franchise originally began in 2012 as a web novel series by author Aneko Usagi. Usagi's original work has since been adapted into a manga and a light novel series, which are now available in English on One Piece Press. That one wasn't quite as long, right? Right, and let's see, and we have our last article we will get to here. This one right here. All right, Funimation's YouTube channel to relaunch with free anime episodes. The Crunchyroll Funimation merger continues as the company announces it will retool one of its YouTube channels to focus on free dubbed anime. Article by Michael Cerna, published 6 hours ago. Probably to make nice with a lot of the customers that they've been bashing for the last couple of years. Yeah, we'll make some of the work free, from the fact that Crunchyroll lost some titles because um, Sentai, of course, pulled a lot of their titles to help build up their own streaming service, High Dive, which is proving to be, I think, Crunchyroll's primary competition now. Albeit they still got quite a ways to go. Article by Michael Sana, published 6 hours ago. Crunchyroll announced today that the Funimation YouTube channel will now be known as Crunchyroll Dubs. And I know Yellow Flash reported on it earlier, I believe. Was it Yellow Flash or was it Hero Hero? One of the two mentioned it earlier. As detailed on the anime streamer's website, the newly renamed Crunchyroll Dubs channel will focus on showcasing dubbed clips, trailers, and other content from the company's anime library. Japanese language clips will be posted on the company's other YouTube channel, Crunchyroll Collection. In addition to preview of new titles, the Dubs channel will also release full episodes of classic shows, beginning with the first English dubbed episode of the popular isekai anime regarding Zero starting life in another world on April 9th, which is this Saturday. The streaming company says it will add additional free episodes to the Dubs channel on a weekly schedule. The new YouTube releases come a week after Crunchyroll announced that it will discontinue free ad-supported access to new releases on the platform. So I guess they figured they'd make some free to hopefully quell the outrage of the fans. The relaunch of the YouTube channel is the latest step in the merger of the Crunchyroll and Funimation brands. Both companies are now owned by Japanese tech giant Sony, who purchased Funimation in 2017 and then bought up Crunchyroll in 2021. Crunchyroll was previously owned by Warner Media and its parent corporation, AT&T. Sony reportedly paid $1.1 billion to acquire the anime streamer. In March, Funimation announced that the majority of its streaming library, which includes over 800 anime titles, would now be available on Crunchyroll's service. Funimation also announced that it was winding down operations on its own streaming platform, which was once Crunchyroll's biggest direct competitor. No new shows are being added to the Funimation service following the winter 2022 season, which we just got through here. Funimation's home video releases on digital marketplace and on physical media will now also carry, I guess, winter, which will mean later this year probably. Now also carry the Crunchyroll branding. While the newly consolidated Crunchyroll now boasts what it calls the largest library of streaming anime in the world, its competitors have also stepped up their efforts to command the lucrative anime streaming market. Netflix recently detailed its plans to continue investing in the medium after revealing that over half of its global subscribers use the service to watch anime. And Disney Plus plans to begin streaming its first exclusive anime series this year, beginning with the upcoming psychological thriller Summertime Rendering. Crunchyroll, meanwhile, will add 3 highly anticipated titles to its already substantial library this month, as it prepares to premiere the highly anticipated new seasons of The Rising of the Shield Hero and Kaguya-sama: Love is War. The platform will also stream the new anime adaptation of Tatsuya Endo's critically acclaimed Spy Family. So there we go. So that's it for all the articles then. Um, so we're finished with the articles. We'll do some quick, wrestling news here, and then we will go ahead um, and we'll go ahead and start wrapping up as we're already past the 2 hour mark here. That's okay because we can go a little over. With that, let's go ahead. So with the wrestling news, interesting stuff coming out of Raw last night. Most notably, there's talk that Rhea Ripley may be joining the faction that Edge is creating with Damian Priest. Rhea Ripley and her current tag partner Liv Morgan got a shot at the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Naomi and Sasha Banks, who won the belts last night at WrestleMania 38. But that's one of the big news. And then also Cody Rhodes had a very emotional speech on Raw, talking about how he was going to try to become a world champion like his father. Essentially, from what I understand, dedicating the rest of his career to his father, the late American Dream Dusty Rhodes. All right, so that's all of the wrestling news there that I was gonna go over. With that, let's go ahead and finish things up here, as today being Tuesday, April the 5th, 2022. Let's take a look back at this day in Nietzsche history. History! All right, and the first stop, we're going to go back 40 years ago, probably to pre to probably one of the biggest national wrestling stories pre-national expansion period. Going back 40 years, as on this date 40 years ago today, Jerry Lawler battles Andy Kaufman in a match at the sold-out Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. The match stems from Lawler taking exception to Kaufman wrestling women as part of his skits and laying claim to being the intergender heavyweight champion, with Lawler claiming that Kaufman's skits were disrespectful to his sport. Kaufman wins the match by disqualification when Lawler lays him out with two pile drivers, which is an illegal move in Memphis. So, some takeaways in that. This is probably around that time one of the biggest stories going on in pro wrestling, in sport, and in entertainment. Around this time, Andy Kaufman had these skits on Saturday Night Live in which he was wrestling women, claiming to be the intergender champion. Basically, what many pro wrestlers would believe would be making a mockery of the sport. And Lawler being one of the guys who took exception to this. During the run of this, and this was the actual match, but this angle had run for like, I think, 82, 83. It had run for like a couple of years, actually, because there was also during this angle, you had the infamous spot on the Tonight Show with David Letterman. Well, let's see, it was on the David Letterman show, I believe, in which Kaufman and Lawler were on there together. They got into a bit of an altercation in which Kaufman threw coffee in Lawler's face. So, and of course, in certain parts of the country at this time, certain region, the pile driver was an illegal move. Now, for those of you who may not know, the pile driver is a move in which you set the person up in pike position with you place a person's head between you place your opponent's head between your knees, right? Where they're bent over in like a pike position. And like a then you lift them up by the waist to where they're straight up. Now, for the most part, you either sit back and just let gravity take its course. Some guys like Paul Orndorff would actually jump up and kick out to create more. That version is called the spike pile driver. Many people the tombstone that Undertaker is known for is technically known as a reverse pile driver. But that's basically what a pile driver is. You set the guy up and then you have him hanging upside down and you just drop him on his head. So that happened 40 years ago today. The very famous or infamous, depending upon how you look at it, Kaufman Lawler match at Mid-South Coliseum in Memphis, Tennessee. So that will move on to the next piece in each history. As on this day in 2006, I believe. Yeah, on this date, 16 years ago today, in 2006, the fifth and final issue of Keep from IDW went on sale on this date back in 2006 for $3.99, 32 pages. So the fifth and final issue of Keep from IDW went on sale on this date in back in 2006, 16 years ago today. And let's see. Got one more piece of niche history to go through. One last piece here. As on this date in 2007, 15 years ago today, the following animes made their debuts in Japan: Bakugan, TMS Entertainment, Nelvana Animations, Bakugan Battle Brawlers, Studio Pierrot's Blue Dragon, Bones Darker Than Black, Picture Magic's Kotetsu Sangokushi, and Kota Sushin Jig from Actus. So the anime's Bakugan Battle Brawlers, Blue Dragon, Darker Than Black, Kotetsu Sangokushi, and Kotetsushin Jig all made their debuts on this date back in 2007, 15 years ago today. So there you go with that one. So anyways, guys, thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the content. Hope learning about what's coming out and all that. Also, don't forget this Friday, Batgoat and I will be continuing our study and look down Comics History Lane from December 1938, looking at the comics that went on sale from Centaur Comics. And until tomorrow, I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.